Out-of-state travelers quarantine 14 days. Sorry, that's... Shit drives me crazy. I know we're still living in this era. I got nothing against the regulations, okay? Just my current flavoring, if I had to tell you what the dominant flavor of the 2020s is, please wash your hands for 20 seconds. You must wash your hands for 20 seconds with scalding hot water in order to prevent the flow of disease. Meanwhile, the sink has 2 dribbles of water that come out. And I'm like, why is the sink so fucking slow? Please think of the environment. We here at Yum Brands have signed a pledge to minimize our water usage simultaneously. And so I'm like, 20 seconds is like 3 drops of water. And then I'm like, and then I go to the paper towel dispenser. I get 1 little postage stamp. Meanwhile, Colonel Sanders' great-great-great-grandniece is flying over my head in her own Boeing 747. I'm just saying, you got to pick one, okay? You got to pick whether we're washing our hands for 20 seconds, vigorously getting under the nails, et cetera, or you got to choose your green initiative. You can't have them both at the same time. You got to advertise one or the other. Maybe we could stop using water to wash our hands. Why don't you isn't soda really cheap? Couldn't we be washing our hands in like Coke Zero or something? I'm already at the KFC. I know doesn't it take like 2 drops of soda to make 2 liters of soda? Also, I have a hot take for you. I had half of a real Coca Cola last night because my wife got one from the Korean fried chicken place. She said, I can't drink all of one. Let's split it. I said, okay. I hit you with something crazy. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm a supporter of Coca Cola as one of mankind's greatest inventions. Coke Zero tastes a little bit better than regular Coke, at least regular corn syrup Coke. The regular Coke, and I like this flavor, but I'm just throwing it out here, has a little metallic taste in it somewhere. Almost as if in the vat 100 years ago, like someone threw a handful of change in, and we've just been tasting pennies with every can and bottle since. The Coke Zero does not have the penny taste, and I prefer to not have it. I like them. I like a Coke Zero. I like a Coke. I like a Diet Coke. Of the 3 of them, I think that Coke Zero is the best. Zero has 33% more caffeine. Okay, as long as we're going through insane takes today, even the Coca-Cola that has caffeine in it has no caffeine in it. No amount of caffeine that is less than a teacup of green tea is real. Cup of coffee, sure. A cup of tea, sure. A can of Coke, no. If someone is like, I can't have a can of Coke after 2 p.m. or I won't get any sleep, live your life, but you are from weak stock and you will not survive the harsh winter. My personal opinion is that it is too small of an amount of caffeine to be perceptible to the average person, the average adult at least. Now, if you're drinking 8 cans of Coke a day, maybe it adds up, okay? There is no way a can of Coke has as much caffeine as a cup of espresso. I don't buy it, man. 1 can is 34 milligrams, okay? And a shot of espresso. What's a shot of espresso? 80, 64, 60 to 80, 70 to 120, 64 milligrams. It takes 2 Cokes to equal 1 espresso, man. Don't just come in here lying. Meanwhile, the entire country of Italy has like 4 espressos for dessert after they eat dinner at 10 p.m. And you're like, I can't have half a can of Coca Cola with my bacon cheeseburger and French fries at 1 p.m. or I'm not going to be able to get any shut-eye tonight? What the hell are you talking about? Their economy's in the toilet? I don't know if that's the espresso's fault. I do love that tweet, though. That's like, it was like European. I don't get it. I know Americans, and I don't think they're that much more productive than us. And then it's like American while listening to something called Tony Stark's motivation playlist on Spotify, skipping lunch to send 12 emails and hasn't been to the doctor in 2 years. Yeah, I don't get it either. Anyway, I don't know. What were we talking about here? New York. Your greatest city in the world, baby. We talk about how insane it is to quarantine for 14 days. Listen, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing back then. I'm cutting people some slack. It started to fall apart a little bit in like the end of 2022 when we tried to fly to San Diego because we were taking a cruise in San Diego, and they were like, oh, all travelers who aren't fully vaxxed have to quarantine for 14 days when they go to America. And I was like, well, my daughter is 2 years old. She can't be fully vaxxed. And they're like, sorry, them's the breaks. Then we Googled it and we realized that that's only for flying. But if you drive across the border, there's no requirement like that. And then if you fly from America to America, there's no requirement like that. So we're like, okay, you made the fucking rules. So we drove to the US instead. And they were like, have a good time. And then we flew from Seattle to San Diego instead, and everyone was like, welcome to your trip. Doesn't make any fucking sense, man. Drives me crazy. But then I got to fly out of Painfield Airport, so it was like all worth it. I'm going to say you're next to the AMC Empire 25. You're right, they shouldn't have let you fly. Hey. Only Americans with COVID should be allowed to get on this cruise ship, okay? This is America. All you other fuckers from the rest of the world with COVID, stay out. We don't want your COVID. We only want to spread our COVID amongst ourselves. I know this doesn't make sense because this is the Atlantic Ocean, but in my head, this is New York and this is New Jersey, which makes, I know it doesn't make sense, but it's like New Jersey, to me, it doesn't feel like it's more interior than New York City. Feels like it's more exterior. A lot of people, listen, some people are saying that's insane, but some people are like, I've also always thought the same thing. Finally, someone gets it. It's just interesting, man. I'm just saying it's interesting. I don't know. I'm going to guess this was 2020. You got it spot on. That's a tough one.